Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, SWGOH fans of all ages, please put your hands together and your speakers on for the hosts of the Real Sith of Genius livestream, Ranger J1999 and Finity.
Real Sith of Genius is not taped in front of a live studio audience. Power of the dark side.
Hey, we're back better than ever. Real Sith of Genius. Finity, what's up, my man? We're on episode number 14.
I know. It seems like only yesterday we were in the single digits, and now we're teenagers.
I know. We're over 250 subscribers. Getting near over 13,000 views. Finn finally got pubic hair. Things are changing. They're changing.
I bought them from Scott Tenorman for $20.
Oh. What's new with you, brother?
Nothing much. I think you gave me your virus over the computer. I've been feeling a little sick the last couple days, but I'm feeling okay now. Ready to go.
All right. You can see I'm wearing my Star Wars gear. Got to represent. Finn, I don't know what the hell you're wearing. Was that?
So we had Sith Lord Stu hang out with us yesterday in the after party from the stream. So if you guys don't hang out with us, definitely come to the Rebel Base Discord after our stream.
I swear that man is retarded. I swear to God.
I haven't laughed that hard in quite a while. So, being that he is a Chicago man, this is a Chicago Bears jersey, number 54. My favorite linebacker, second favorite linebacker of all time, Mr. Brian Urlacher.
Man, he's a great one. Should be. I don't know when he's eligible for the Hall of Fame, but I definitely think he will be going in there. As many years as that guy was all pro, and the guy was a beast.
Yes, he was.
We're not here to talk about football. We got a lot of stuff, a lot of news to cover. A lot of exciting things happening this week. The Real Sith of Genius. Of course, we're first and foremost, we're Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes stream where we talk about the game we love the most, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Of course, you know me, Ranger J1999, and of course Finn over there on this side. Wait, let me get this way, that way. Finn. So, Finn, what do we got going on today, brother?
All right, so it seems like CG is having fun keeping our suspense building. Still waiting on the AAT raid. I think it's still. I don't know how you're feeling, Ranger. It's kind of getting a little bit to the tipping point for me. Not that I mind that they're taking a while in order to get the raid out. I would prefer a quality piece of gameplay to come out rather than something that's buggy.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue that I'm having is they put so many events about like a week ago, and right now all the content is getting stale again. And there's only so much that the credit heist can do. There's only so much that the training droid events can do. They need to put out something new because it's just getting to the point where the game is getting really stale, really repetitive. Rancor raid, people are like soloing the entire thing now. It's just becoming the game is becoming a little jokey, and I don't want it to become a joke. The game is actually a good game. They just need new content out soon, whether it's the raid or something else. But that's kind of my feeling on kind of the wait right now.
Right. Well, I mean, what can you do? It is what it is. So, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So, all right. That being said, anything in the game happening besides raid not launching? Oh, we both did get, just to rub it in. Now, see, this is not what I wanted to write on the damn ticker there. Me and Finn both got $10 million credits from the Scoundrel event, and I wanted to tell everybody to suck it, but Finn put miracles happen. Why did you do that? Why couldn't you just tell everybody to suck it, man?
Well, show them your total in your game right now, and then you can tell them to suck it.
Okay, we can do that. So let's. I have 29.3 million credits.
There you go. Now suck it.
Suck it.
I'm at.
I like pudding.
Let me see how much I'm at. I think you actually had me beat because I've been buying some mods from the mod shipment lately. I'm at 28.45.
28.4. I've bought some
Yeah.
mods and stuff, but I've been very, very specific on the type of mods that I've been going after. So yeah, I'm waiting for the raid, but again, I'll wait. I'd rather it work and work correctly and not have the fiasco that was the previous Rancor raid. So, anything else dropping this week? What other news we got to get covered before we start doing some gameplay and fun stuff like that?
So there was a little bit of unfortunate news also. So I guess a lot of CG right now is focusing really heavily on the raid, making sure that it's coming out with good content, and trying to work on a lot of bug fixes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a post a little while ago saying that they were working on the Boba Fett rework.
Yeah, he needs
That
a
has been
rework.
put on hold.
That's
That has
sad.
been put on hold. Yeah. It's not that they're not going to do it, but right now they're focusing on a lot of the bugs, they're focusing on the new content, that the rework is kind of falling kind of by the wayside. And you can kind of imagine that with Rogue One coming out and them wanting to focus on new characters also.
Mm-hmm.
But basically a dev came out and said that the Boba Fett rework is not going to be soon.
Okay.
So I was one of them that, and I don't know if you did too, Ranger. I was one of them that started farming Boba Fett a little bit.
Mm-mm.
Not because I was going to use him, but because I figured there was going to be a rework, and I didn't really have another character I really wanted from a Cantina shipment. So I started farming Boba Fett. Little disappointed that it's going to take a little longer, but I expected it to take a little while too.
No, I started working on. I'm trying to finish my resistance team. So you can start to see. I already had Ray. I didn't want to hit Leia, and I hit Leia. Oh my god! And the game's being slow. Okay. I started working on. Already had Ray maxed. Started working on resistance pilot, finishing them off. Then I started working on Poe. So I've got Poe pretty almost at 7 stars. So that's who I've been farming out of there. And then also I've been focusing on Resistance Trooper and Finn. I just want to get them to 5 stars so I can do the mod challenge, so I can start getting those 5 star or those 5 star mods for speed, because speed is part of the meta now. And I do well in arena. I finished one today, but speed does matter, and getting those mods will be a big help. Plus, I just want to get a resistance team. Why not? I'm still farming on Mugundi. Where's good old Mugundi? There he is. He's almost 6 stars. So yeah, you can see I'm doing a lot of farming. I'm gearing people best I can. Um, you see I've got a lot of characters that are my characters are starting to start piling up. You can see I got Vader 6 star, working on him. Every time I see Vader shards, I'm popping in there and grabbing them. Um, that's been kind of my primary focus. I mean, so you're doing Boba Fett. What else are you doing in Cantina battles or shipments? And I lost Finn.
No, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Did you mute yourself or something? I was
Yeah, I
like,
muted my mic.
it was like start doing kung fu fighting. Like,
I was
damn
I
you,
was having a sip of my
kick your ass right
cherry
now.
7 Up here. Love myself some cherry 7 Up. So
Prepare to fight.
uh so I was I finished off getting the stars or the shards I needed in order to 7 star Boba Fett. So he's pretty much ready to go whenever.
Cool.
Um I'm working on Daka right now to finish her off to 7 star, and then after that, I haven't really decided who I'm gonna go for. There's nobody in particular that I really want. I don't see myself doing mod challenges, so I'm probably just gonna buy all my mods from shipments. So I might just slow farm another character. I'm not sure which yet. I haven't particularly decided, but Daka is the one I'm focusing on.
Yeah, I'm doing a Saz Ventress and whoa! I just saw this. Look at this team. That just I was number one, so they just beat me. They have Darth Maul in there. Ooh, we'll have to fight that team. I just saw that. I was like, ooh, someone's using Darth Maul. Kinky.
He's gotten a little bit of revival with Palpatine as of late. I
Palpatine's
haven't seen him too much in mine, but he's getting a little bit of a boost.
yeah, he is. That's interesting. We'll see how that works out when I face him. Saj, I mean, the Galactic War. I mean, my God, I have no. I have no real need for anything in here. I've been farming Tusken Raider, but you can see I've got an astronomical amount of crystals. So I may even start doing Grievous once I finish Tusken Raider. But I think I could 6-star right now. So it's just a matter of getting the. I think I have 90 more shards to um, get him to the total number of shards I'll need for that. So very cool. What else we got? Let me check the events. I always every time we've streamed last couple weeks, an event popped in there. It's like, no, we not this week. Okay, I was just thought we'd check. All right. So what else we got in the news? Anything pressing or big or anything like that?
Yeah, so I'll go over one of the things that we did that was big. Just a little bit of feedback from the stream too, Ranger. It seems like your mic is just a little too loud, so if you can just bring it down just a little bit.
No.
So last week
All right, turn it down.
there was the assault battle Forest Moon going on, which is where you could get your Ewok shards,
Yep.
and we put out our first Real Sith of Genius contest with our first giveaway.
Ooh.
And initially the
What did I
contest was
win?
you won. So the contest was initially said to, because of a comment based on a dev, that if you could solo tier 1 or tier 2 with just Emperor Palpatine, that we would give you a prize. But you could only go in with a minimum of 5 characters. So it became readily pretty easy to figure out that our challenge became impossible after the stream.
Mm-hmm.
So we modified it. And it was whoever could do tier 2 of the Ewok of the Forest Moon Assault battle
Mm-hmm.
with the lowest power, and they had to submit a video to us. And we got quite a few submissions, but the winner is Mr. Scrotez.
Nice, Scroats.
He ended up doing it with the power of 20,432. Essentially, he
Nice.
had, if I remember correctly, he had pretty much a maxed out Emperor Palpatine, Grand Moff Tarkin, and Snow Trooper, and then he put in like a low level Magma Trooper and somebody else, I think of Veers.
Nice.
So he did it with 20,432. So he is the winner of the first Real Sith of Genius giveaway. We haven't come up with the prizes yet, but we'll obviously he's in the Rebel Base Discord, so we'll definitely message you and we'll kind of discuss the prize once we have that all figured out. We do have another giveaway coming on next
Now,
month.
do we have any idea what prizes we want to give? Do we want to tease the folks out there, or are we just going to say you'll just have to wait and see? What are we doing?
Well, you'll have to wait and see, but it may be something along the lines of something that may be about 8x10 in nature with the signature Infinity and Ranger. So that's the only hint I can give as a potential
Well, Jesus Christ,
prize.
that kind of narrows it down. Why don't you just announce what it is, man? You just an 8x10 with the pot. Stop it, man. Ridiculous. God. Oh my dear Lord in heaven. All right.
No, we have to keep the suspense. I'm not telling them.
You're in charge of the prizes, brother.
It's going to
Jesus
be a greeting
Christ.
card that says
Oh.
happy birthday.
Yeah, I bet that's what they want. Oh, good Lord in heaven. All right, what else we got, brother? What's next on the agenda? Finn's just over there giggling.
All right, so one of the things that we've added now to the ticker, which you guys can tell us if it's something that you find that we would like to kind of see from week to week, is the SWGOH.GG ranks of the top 5 characters in the 1 to 10 rank. Because I know not everybody is in the number 1 rank, so we're looking at the 1 to 10 range, and we're looking at the top 5 leads and the top 5 characters.
Okay.
Is the stream still going, Ranger? Just gonna check here.
It's saying it is.
Okay. I think I see it still going.
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're looking at the top 5 leads and the top 5 characters in just the teams in general. And this is so, I don't know if you want to comment on kind of the change. It used to be that there was the dodge meta with Old Ben lead and used to have a lot of tankiness. And now the top 5 leads in order.
Mm-hmm.
The number 1 lead right now, who do you think it is, Ranger?
Oh, it's got to be Emperor Palpatine.
Yes. So Emperor Palpatine is the number 1 lead currently. Um, I was actually a little surprised, but I think it's going to be coming more. I was thinking that Lando may be coming up soon. But Emperor Palpatine is number 1 with 23%, and Lando is number 2 with 22%.
Yeah, I use them.
So yeah, so Lando is coming up now. So we might in the next few weeks end up seeing a shift from Emperor Palpatine to Lando in the top 10 ranks.
Could be.
Who do you guess is number 3?
Number 3,
Mm-hmm.
either Royal Guard or Stormtrooper Han.
No, lead.
Oh, lead.
Yeah, lead character.
Lando, Emperor Palpatine.
So that's number 2 and number 1.
I would have to say. Boy, that's a good question. Phasma?
No, not Phasma.
Interesting.
Phasma is not even in the top 5. Phasma is actually number 7 right now.
Well, it'd have to be a lead that gives speed, so I would say Grand Moff Tarkin, maybe.
Mm-mm.
See?
It's actually a lead that counters Palpatine. It's
Yeah,
Mr. Rex.
Rex. I should have said Rex. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So because of the Palpatine kind of trend, Rex
Mm-hmm.
has came up for a while, and now he's number 3 at 15%. I believe last week he was higher. He I think lost some of his to Lando, and Lando became higher.
Mm-hmm.
So Rex is now sitting at number 3.
Okay. I would
Number
not.
4.
Jesus. Anakin.
Mm-mm. Anakin is number 6.
I'm a Gundy.
No. Do you have I'm a Gundy on your server at the top?
Yes. Yeah. I ate up. I just was showing that. Oh, he was in the top 10, but I guess got knocked out. Right there. I'm a Gundy lead.
Oh yeah.
Full Jedi team. Wow. This
It's a
is
full
real.
team. It's a like a full team. It requires Mr. Jawa Engineer.
Oh, it's a droids. Okay.
Mhm.
So,
So
HK-47.
HK-47.
Interesting.
So he is the number 4 lead right now in SWGOH, and Grande Patrone is kind of mocking you as a bad guesser. So you have to redeem yourself now.
Oh, I don't have to do shit. Tell Grande to stick something in his beard and light it on fire. Um,
Come on, guess number 5. You can guess number 5. I'll give you a hint off the bat so you don't guess incorrectly. He is probably going to be the new meta in about 2 to 3 weeks. People are still farming him because he just came into the game for free to play. Can you guess it, Ranger?
Wedge? No, that can't be.
Yep,
It is
that is.
Wedge.
Yep.
It's Wedge combination.
Uh-huh. So Wedge is the number 5 lead right now. So number 1 at 23%, Emperor Palpatine. 22% is Lando Calrissian. 15% is Rex. 11% is HK-47, and 7% is Wedge. At 5%, you kind of have a tie between Jedi Knight Anakin, Phasma, and Old Ben.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Mhm. And so we'll try to track this kind of from week to week and see how the top 10 kind of changes. But let's go to the regular characters now.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I think this one you might have an easier chance of guessing. So who do you think is the most common character in all groups?
Royal Guard.
Royal Guard is number 6.
Wow. Most common characters, right?
Mhm.
Well, Emperor's gonna be in there.
Emperor Palpatine is number 2 at
Number
57% of teams. There is another character that's also 57% of teams, but in terms of total number, Emperor Palpatine and the count that SWGOH did,
mm-hmm.
Palpatine is in 1346 groups, and this character is 1347.
Stormtrooper Han.
Correct. So
That makes
Stormtrooper Han
sense.
is the most used character right now in the top 10. Emperor Palpatine is number 2. Who would you guess is number 3?
Lando.
Correct. See, now you're guessing better. Now Grande can really light his beer on fire.
Yeah.
So Lando is number 3 at 47% of teams.
Okay.
Number 4.
You have to really think about this, man.
So number
A-
4 is the
Anakin.
character.
Anakin.
Anakin is number 5.
Anakin's number 5.
Mhm. The number 4 guy is somebody that's pretty much been in the top for quite a while. A lot of utility. One of the first characters that people recommend farming. Um,
I'm thinking. Give me a second, because the meta I'm used to is it's interesting. The facts that you throw out there, it makes you think. Well, I'm a little bit off then. Because we already said Lando, we already said Emperor, we already said Royal Guard, we already said Stormtrooper Han. Anakin was 5. There's someone at 4 that some people are using a lot of.
mhm.
I want to make sure I get it right. I gotta say Phasma?
No, not
Not
Phasma.
Phasma.
Phasma is pretty low.
Qui Gon Jinn's got to be in there.
That's it.
Okay.
Qui-Gon Jinn is number
I knew it was
4.
one of those two.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I use I used Qui Gon Jinn for a long time. He's such a diverse character to use. I mean, that's not shocking to see at all that happens. So now that you brought that up, let's take a. I want to see that this Darth Maul. I'm probably going to get killed, but let's take a look at this Darth Maul team. I'm going to battle it. This guy's got speed out the yin yang, so I'm probably going to get smoked. I hate facing this team. Speed kills, folks. There's the lightning. Oh, Lord. I mean, I haven't had a turn yet. That's how much speed this guy has. Okay.
It's crazy.
Darth Maul hasn't even gone yet. Bam. Oh, God. Oh, my God in heaven. All right, Lando, get in there. Make something of yourself. Goes to tenacity, but Stormtrooper Han didn't. Boy, this is a wicked ass team. God, I didn't mean to hit
So
that.
much is,
I did not mean to hit that. That was. Ugh.
and it's not even the speed so much. A lot of times it's just how many people can Emperor Palpatine stun, and
Mm-hmm.
it gets crazy amounts sometimes. Mine always stuns 1. The opposing always stuns 5, and it's annoying as hell.
Get rid of the Emperor, stupid ass. There's Darth Vader, that goddamn hit. I don't want to hit on. Stun Vader. Stun him! You son of a.
This is not going as intended.
It's. I'm winning. I don't want to let the fans down. They'll be like, Rangers lost! We hate him!
Well, there's other reasons to hate you.
Yeah, I know. Alright, I won. Boy, that team is something. I don't know why you would have Darth Maul in there. He didn't really do anything. That was interesting.
Well,
I mean,
there was the I'm a Gundy team in your shard, right?
yeah, that one you just can't AoE until you get your taunt up, because if you do without a stun on, it just comes in there and just will wreck you. It's awful. All right, so I just wanted to see that because that was crazy. Seeing Darth Maul. As soon as I saw that, I was like, God. Okay. What do we got next on the agenda, man?
All right, so let's go to something that we started a little while ago, and we're gonna start picking up again now. So I think it's been about 4 weeks, right, since the last time we
Yeah.
did a character creation.
Now I put both in just because I don't know if you wanted to go back to the other one we did previously. Okay, so you want to start off there, or you want to start with the new one?
Yeah, we'll just quickly just mention Hera. So we did Hera Syndulla as our last character creation from the Star Wars Rebels series. And kind of just the same as usual. We put it up in the forums. We put it up in the Rebel Base Discord. We asked for your guys' feedback, and we made some changes. The biggest change was just kind of conceptually that Hera is a support character,
Yeah.
but needs a little bit more umph behind her.
Yeah.
Her damage was a little bit low, so we increased that. Her leader ability was initially speed and defense, and we changed that. So she's modified a little bit to be a lot more of a helper now, a lot more of a support than initially. And so we'll put this up on our website. This is version 2 of Hera. But now let's go to
The next one, the
yeah.
Zeb, my man.
All
Karabast.
right. So we're now doing Mr. Garazeb Aurelios. So you want to give a little bit of background on him, Ranger?
No.
Okay. Well, it's yours now.
He's part of the original crew. His planet was pretty much decimated by the Empire. Agent Callus actually fought against him. They actually had a pretty cool episode last season. In regards to that, his weapon actually, I can't say what it does, but it plays a prominent role of him. He is pretty much a warrior. He's a warrior at heart. His whole, I mean, you kind of see his character evolving. In this season, they do some stuff with him, so you kind of get a more of a feel of who he is. Very honorable kind of character, but he's not afraid to get into scrap. But he also likes to have fun. Him and Ezra have had some episodes where they just get into some serious mischief, which always leads problems. But he's a pretty amazing character. I mean, all the characters on Rebels I can't speak highly enough of, but yeah, looking at him when we were looking at his what he really is, he's that tank kind of guy, and you can kind of see that we put him as light side rebel, ghost crewman, of course, because that's one affiliations we want to put. But he is the tank of this group. So that's how we approached him, because he can take a hit. He's really tough. He's really durable. He's a badass fighter. So that's kind of where we went with him. So let's break down some of the abilities here, Finn, of what we got.
Okay. So the first one is called the buttsock smash. I had not heard of this term until Ranger mentioned it.
Yeah, and you spelled it wrong too. You put butt sock. What the hell's a butt sock?
I don't know. I've never used that term before.
Stock, as in the stock of the gun.
You can put a sock on it too.
A butt sock.
Okay. So that's gonna be changed in the next time. All right. So we have a butt sock. So it deals critical damage to the target and has a 40% chance.
I
Has a 40% chance to stun the target on a
can't.
critical
I
hit.
bet it does.
It also has a chance. Oh, never mind. I'm not gonna go there. There's way too much to do with the butt.
Oh no! This is the greatest thing ever. A butt sock.
Oh
God.
I blame Ranger.
Oh God. Butt sock.
I do not want to ever put that sock on anymore. It's not gonna be fun. All right. So.
Oh Jesus Christ! Move on to the next one, man. I can't even talk.
All right. All right. So the next one is the Stormtrooper Assault. So because
I just looked at this. It says butt sock smash, and the other one says get behind me. Oh no! Oh no! Get behind that butt sock.
We have detoured here majorly. At least the buttsock is protecting you if you're behind him. All right. So we have the Stormtrooper Assault.
I'm crying.
A lot of the rebel characters are anti-Empire in nature. So you can see that this is going to be one that deals physical damage to all enemies, grants defense up for allies, and it also has a 50% chance to critically hit any Empire enemy.
Very nice.
So focused on anti-enemy or anti-empire. You have the Get Behind Me, which is his go ahead, Ranger, get it out.
Get behind me as I use my butt sock. Are you attacking the enemy? What are you doing? No, stop. What are you doing? That's nasty.
So oh man, Ewalkin is mentioning what the animation would be like for the butt sock.
I can't even.
All right, so we have the Get Behind Me, which is his other special. He taunts for 3 turns. Every time he takes damage while taunting, he ends up has a 50% chance to remove a negative status effect on him.
Mm-hmm.
If a negative status effect is removed, Zeb will gain health equal to 10% of his maximum hit points.
I like that.
It's a little bit of there was a discussion on the Reddit, and we'll go into this when we go kind of into the gameplay a little bit later. But there was something on the Reddit that kind of stemmed that character creation.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to his last one, which is his unique ability. This is kind of when we're thinking about a character that's taunting, we want them to taunt as much as they can. Zeb really isn't that much of a damage dealer, so we're hoping that he'll taunt for longer. So the way his unique works is that every time he gets dealt damage, all damage that he takes is reduced by 10%. So he has additional armor on top of whatever you give him. Plus, each attack against Zeb removes 10% turn meter, meaning that his taunt will prolong even longer.
Yeah, I like
So,
that. That was one of the best ones we have.
mhm. And
Oh.
he works really well with Hera, because Hera has the chance to randomly have a Ghost Crewman taunt.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get that taunt onto Zeb, if you notice, the unique is whenever he's taunting, it doesn't have to be with his taunting ability. So that would be kind of just the layout of him.
Awesome. I think we've outdone ourselves here, but what do you guys think? We'll put this out in the forums. We'll put it out everywhere and kind of get your guys' feedback, and we'll probably we'll go back and um, we'll redo it. But this is kind of where we were going with this with Zeb. I thought it was for the game how it would work. I really like this one. So
We do have 2 suggestions really quick.
oh god,
So
please don't be about the
so
butt
Grande
sock.
Patron is saying that first, before his abilities, he asked Ezra to pull his finger. And then our guildie Zimartoian is saying that Get Behind Me has a 50% chance to remove the butt sock. We have combined to make Ranger lose his mind.
Shit. I thought it was done.
Nope. The butt sock never gets filled.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We need to get back to gameplay.
Some people think I'm a bad man. I'm a good man. This Kung Pao, if you guys don't know what that. I'm bleeding the most. I'm the winner. Oh my god. So with this character creation, we're gonna keep going with it. Big announcement is, Finn, let's put it out now. Rebel season launches this Saturday. Which is amazing. And we can finally announce that me, and this is big news, me and the Great Finity are going to be doing after show reviews of this season's Rebel shows. Not only we're going to be doing that, we saw that we'd done the trailer for Rogue One. We're huge Star Wars fans, not just the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but we want to branch out a little bit and, get into some other things. So we are going to be doing reviews of each episode for starting with Rebels and kind of branch off from there. So this Saturday, after the show, we will be doing our review for the Rebels TV show, which we put out information for. So that's the big announcement that I wanted to do because it just makes sense. People ask us about. We get questions all the time, not about just Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but we get questions, especially when we do stuff like this, about the characters, canon, the lore, the history of some of this stuff. And we and by all means keep the questions coming. I love answering those questions for the game or just about characters in Star Wars or history of the Star Wars universe. But we can get into a lot more of that on those shows where we can kind of talk about each episode, talk about some of the characters that were introduced. If you guys have been seeing the previews, I'm super stoked with some of the stuff that they've been showing. It's going to be amazing. I mean, just think about all the characters we'll be able to cover this season with Rebels. Darth Maul, Darth Vader, Admiral Thrawn, all the Ghost crew. I mean, it just the list goes on and on and on. So it's going to give us a chance to really delve into some of that stuff. So check this out on Saturday. So now that I've been able to breathe again, God in heaven.
Let's
Oh,
get back to some gameplay.
yeah, let's get into some gameplay. Jesus Christ.
You have Galactic War, right?
I do.
Okay, so let's everyone that's kind of in the YouTube chat right now, go ahead and you have the first node open, right?
I'm getting ready
Ranger?
to. Yeah, let me get there.
Okay, let's have everyone kind of make a team up for Ranger based on his crew. You up
Oh
for that?
Lord, yes,
Just
I'm
for the
fine with.
first node.
Let
It's an
me.
easy first node, right?
Okay. Well, we could do it for the first 5. It's not going to make.
Okay, let's
Don't
start
let
with the first one.
don't let Ronnie pick a team
Okay,
because he always says like he always picks the pay to play characters that some I just don't have. So, hell no.
okay. So go ahead in the YouTube chat, post your suggestions for a team for Ranger. You can just pick a character. We'll pick the first 5 characters and make a team out of it. In the meantime, though, Ranger mentioned kind of at the beginning of the stream, we are over 250 subscribers, right?
Yes,
So that when you start getting to that point, you start to get a little bit more attention, and we have our first corporate sponsor. That's exciting news too,
that
right,
is
Ranger?
exciting. Yes.
All right. So we Ranger and I are not journalism people, but this is essentially what's called a read. So we have an official advertisement from our corporate sponsor. So we hope
Yeah.
you guys enjoy this one.
Yeah, let's get into it. So we're very proud to get our first sponsor. So, I have to do certain things. So we're going to go ahead and, like we do with any sponsor, they want us to read all the information about them. So
Yeah.
let's let's get into that. So
All right.
all right.
So
So
let me read this ad now, because
yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
all
go
right.
ahead.
So do you feel tired when you wake up in the morning to check your 1 a.m. shipment? Do you feel inadequate when your Emperor Palpatine can only stun one character, but your
Mm.
rival's Palpatine can stun 5? Do you feel like Note 11 of GW is there just to piss you off? If you answered yes to any of these questions, talk to your doctor or pharmacist about Darth Sidious brand SWGOH Grande Patron Tequila. Grande Patron Tequila is the naturally bearded way to experience SWGOH gameplay with a whole different mindset. You will gain confidence in your attacks and won't even care about the results. Grande Patron Tequila will even help make Palpatine's anger seem like a 2-year-old's tantrum. You will feel you will feel with the benefit of Grande Patron Tequila the instant it hits your tongue. And with regular shots around your arena payout time, you will appreciate your SWGOH gameplay experience even more. You may even discover group compositions you never even thought about before, like Geonosian Soldier and FOTP with a Chief Nebbit lead. Grande Patron Tequila may not be right for everyone. Women who are pregnant, plan to get pregnant, nursing, or do not want a beard should avoid Grande Patron Tequila. Side effects may include dizziness, nausea, vomiting, using wrong character abilities, incarceration, inappropriate using of crystals, fantasizing about Ahsoka, delusions of grandeur, loss of money, dehydration, dry mouth, and a desire to stare at the shard shop for hours hoping a Vader shard will show up. So what are you waiting for? Start playing SWGOH with Darth Sidious brand SWGOH Grande Patron Tequila. We know there are better choices out there, but we are okay being your 5th choice in tequila.
Awesome. I've seen this before, but when you read it like that, you see the bottle. Oh, Jesus.
And we do want to thank Mr. Grande Patron for
We
being a sport about it.
do want to thank Mr. Grande Patron. What a awesome guy for allowing us to do that. Oh my god. Do we have Mr. Bearded One available? Thoughts on this is pretty good, man.
Mr. Grande Patron, how are you doing, sir?
Is he there?
He's there. I think he has to unmute his mic on.
I'm here. I'm here.
There
Can
we
you
go.
guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious, you guys. I'm gonna tell you, I have a few recommendations. By the way, thank you so much for running my advertisement. I will tell you,
Tell us about
do not
tell us
do
about the
not
tequila.
let me tell you, it's really great. The Grande Patron tequila is amazing. Do not take with butt sock, okay? Whatever you do, do not take it with butt sock. It's a real problem if you take the Grande Patron tequila with butt sock. It doesn't work. So just kind of gonna give you a little heads up. The
You-
Surgeon General has made us put that
You know
warning
what?
on the back of the bottle, and just have to put that out there. It's whatever you guys
You,
want to do. Other than that, as long as
you,
you guys don't
you don't want
do that.
people to get behind you.
Yeah, and whatever you do, don't lean over to your SWGOH buddy and say, "Pull my finger." That's all I got to say. As long as you don't do those things, by all means, drink as much Grande Patron tequila as you possibly can. It will, without a doubt, help out your gameplay, especially at payout.
Oh,
You might spend
jeez.
a few extra crystals, but whatever. It's a game. You're having fun, right?
Oh my god, dude, I'm sweating. I've been laughing so much, dude. It's ridiculous. I mean, this stream, you're definitely gone mental tonight. Oh, my eyes. Just tears pouring out. Grande, what's been going on with you, brother?
Man, just playing a lot of this game, just trying to trying to keep everybody energized, trying to keep everybody active. And I know you guys kind of went over the a little bit the who you're farming as far as in in GW, and who who what the next characters are. I will tell you, I am going full out on Wedge. I think Wedge is going to be amazing, and trying the race to 80 and race to 7-star on my poor little Wedge Antilles. We are definitely
Have
going
fun
full.
gearing that, man, too.
Oh man, the
Yeah,
gear is awful.
I know it. I know it. I mean, I'm doing a couple of different farming. The only one I can tell you that I'm actually excited about is Poe, because
Yeah, I'm working on Poe, too.
Poe looks amazing, and so I'm kind of going there. The Wedge one, I'm kind of saving gear for that guy, knowing I got to get him all the way up, kind of hoarding gear a little bit, knowing that I'm going to have to work on him. I will tell you, in arena at this point, I am farming Ugnut, and a little piece of me dies every day. And the other part about it is I got to work really hard to get rank 1 at the moment, but
It's good.
I'm like, why am I working so hard for rank 1 for Ugnut shards? I mean, I didn't work this hard whenever I was getting Stormtrooper Han, or when I was getting Akbar up. I mean, I didn't work this hard at all, and now I'm working extra hard, and I'm getting Ugnut. I'm busting my rear, spending an extra 50 crystals on a refresh for Ugnut. Really? This is what this game has come to
I'm
for me.
busting a nut for Ugnaught. My
That's right.
God.
Well, it's just but running that a little bit, doing the Wedge deal, looking at Poe, trying to, I know you mentioned this earlier in the stream about the mods, and about working the speed mods, and I keep wondering, I'm trying to get I unlocked the crit damage with my Jawas a couple days ago, almost a week ago, and going to be working fairly hard on the speed mods. I keep wondering, is there going to be a need for offense mods? And
It might be. I mean,
and I
I could do the Jawas. I just haven't geared them or anything. I've got 3 of them ready to be unlocked.
well,
And I could go work on Jawa himself, but I've been focusing on those other characters, like Amagundi, and then what I need to get the speed mods, because primary focus for me has always been PvP.
yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Um, but you wouldn't be wrong. I just, you're going to need them all eventually. So once you farm, you farm. So
Like I said, so I've got the Jawas. The crit damage is totally done. But I just keep thinking, on the offense, with the first order team.
That's
is
a pain in the ass. I give up on that stuff
they,
for right now, man.
well, I mean, so after Poe, I can do the first order officer,
I,
but
I had been working on
and
him a little bit, yeah.
I mean, so that one will be fairly easy. My challenge is going to be
First order TIE pilot and first order stormtrooper.
Stormtrooper. Those two, and then and I've never farmed for Kylo, and so I'm sitting here going, "Am I
Kylo won't be
really
too bad because of his,
well, you can get them in Cantina, but my thought is, I could spend that same amount of energy on mods, or I could spend that same amount of energy on B2 or
yeah.
Ayla or Kit Fisto,
There's a lot of them.
especially with Kit Fisto and that, and his potency up. There's a
Mhm.
potential that there might be something there. There's a potential with Ayla and the counterattack and the stun that might be good for something. I don't know if I'm really going to be using Kit Fisto all that much.
Right.
Well, so this past week I was
I'm
actually
sorry,
on the
Kylo Ren.
forum.
I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
So over this past week, actually, I've been working with a few people. Like I've been posting on the Reddit and the forums, and there's a few people. Josh K is one that I thanked on the in the ticker for helping with the defense formula, but he also went over the offense formula, and I ran some numbers on it. If your
Did you get the
character,
defense formula fixed a little bit? I know before it
it's
was
exact
very
now. There
okay.
was a guy from Josh K plus uh Carbs CZARBSS. He's a guy that actually works on SWGOH.gg, posted on my thing and kind of gave me the information, and I updated the formula. So now the version 2 of the defense calculator is exact.
Is the
So if
formula
you
simpler?
yes, it is considerably simpler
I
than what I was working
yeah,
with.
because I was like, there's no way that's gonna be the right formula.
No, no, no. Mine was definitely not. It was as close to an approximation, and it was pretty close. But yeah, this one is going to be exact. So with offense also, when I looked at it and I got the formula, if your character,
Back.
all right. So we're back now, and just what I was saying was, if your character has over 40% crit chance,
Okay.
then they will get more benefit out of crit damage than offense mods. Versus if they have less than 40% crit chance, then offense actually provides them more benefit to their overall damage than crit damage.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
40% crit chance is what you're looking at, and that's based on having a 4-set mod for either offense and crit damage, and a 2-set mod for crit chance. Above, even above or below, crit chance itself isn't going to be more beneficial than offense or crit damage. So there's unless you have like an additional benefit, like a GS, for example, that gets turn meter on a crit. So maybe you want to get more crit chance. Above,
Right, right.
you don't want to focus on all crit chance mods. So optimal damage would be 2 crit chance mods plus either offense or 4 crit damage, and that would be based on what your crit chance is.
Have we? Has anybody said what they want me to put on the GW team yet?
Oh, so the team is Lando lead,
Okay, Lando lead.
and then Ewalkin says go 15 characters down and just pick the next 4.
Jesus Christ.
That's funny. That's really freaking funny, actually.
Oh my god. Okay, let me see. Team. All right, so I've got Lando with IG 88, fives, Resistance Pilot, and Luminara.
That's actually not a bad team.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. I mean, too bad there's no synergy with Lando, but
This will be interesting. Oh my god.
Lando and 88 are probably going to kill everything. But yeah, so that's just kind of the damage output. So that's what I was kind of looking at. I'm gonna try and see if I can develop like another calculator in order to kind of optimize that. But I know Zurin Fett has his mod optimizer and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
But
but he even said that inside his calculation for because he and I talked about your original formula, so it'd be nice if you'd send me that stuff on the other formula. He said that his was broken, and then he looked at your formula and he's like, is missing. He's missing like a value somehow, and he's trying to make up for the value. And he's like, I don't understand it, but and he's getting close. Anyway, we had this whole conversation. So yeah, if you'll shoot it over to me again, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I'll send you the new one because that one is completely optimized now. The main thing to realize, and I think this is maybe where Zurin is getting thrown off, is where I was getting thrown off too. In your current gear set, so if you're gear 10 working towards gear 11, if you have any pieces that have plus armor on that, that does not get multiplied by mods. So that's where my initial formula was getting thrown off too.
Mm.
So, and I'll send you the formula, and
Yeah.
I'll post it. I'll post it probably on our website. But
Yeah, that'd be
so
cool.
yeah, but that's the offense thing, which is essentially if you're optimizing just damage without consideration of anything else, then 40% crit chance is kind of your cutoff line. Above 40%, you're looking at crit damage being more beneficial. Below 40%, you're looking at offense being more beneficial. Um, as for the challenges and that kind of stuff, I I don't really see much of a purpose in the challenges, to be honest. With everything the way that is going, everything is based on speed, and you have to get a speed secondary. It's and you
agree.
have to not only get a speed secondary, you need it there at the beginning of the mod, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully either a C, B, or A, so that you can get at least 2 upgrades on it. That's damn near impossible on a challenge. Like you'll be running it forever and wasting so much Cantina energy. Mod shipments are so much better. It's 15 crystals to refresh that bad boy, and you can just keep on just buying it that way. Because otherwise, you're not going to get your speed mod. You're just going to get a bunch of mods, and maybe you'll sell it and get some credits. But you're better off farming the characters that you want.
I know we've had this conversation before. I mean, I have gotten relatively lucky in that in mods. And I've also been kind of inventive in what I do. And I get your point though. You make a very valid point. So we'll
I mean,
just
it really depends how many resources you have to spend. Like, if it's not a big deal and you're not really chasing, I'm still chasing after a lot of characters in Cantina, so I really can't spend my time trying to get challenge characters. It's going to be too much of a detour for me, and it's going to ruin my overall collection. So I haven't bothered with that yet. But luckily, mod shipment seems like the better way to go because everyone is looking for specific the way the system is, and it's a pretty good moneymaker for EA and CG because secondaries are so much harder to get than primaries and the actual set bonuses. So it makes sense from kind of a monetary point of view
sure.
that would be the hardest thing. And so I'm at least glad that I can get the stuff from mod shipments.
I lost IG88.
You should restart.
No, I don't need them. I just started to see how far I can go before your character died. So, but these next two modes, I need to do my normal team, so I can get the speed on them. So for turn meter. So, do we want to get into Q&A while I'm doing this?
Well, we have something else to discuss too.
Oh, we do. Okay.
So yeah, so yesterday would have been the first day that players in the game could have unlocked Scarif Rebel Pathfinder. You would have had to do the daily event every single day and get the daily login. So if you guys did that yesterday, you would have unlocked Scarif Rebel Pathfinder at 2 stars. So now that he's kind of available in game, even though people aren't really going to use him, we're going to theory craft a little bit about how he can be used. Grande, do you want to give us a little bit of background? I know you mentioned a bug earlier.
Yeah, so I've been looking at the forums, and there's been a lot of there's one guy I think that has a that has a 2-star level 80 max gear, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder already in Team Skunk Alpha. And so he and I were kind of going back and forth, and I was like, "Oh, all right." I mean, like, what do you think? And he's like, "Okay, he's a little broken right now." And the same thing was said on the forums as well, and that is the fact that he taunts before he runs his AOE, and then if you're running up against a Sunfac team, then Sunfac immediately blows off his taunt all in the same turn. and we're like, that doesn't seem like they really intended that to be the way it's working. And so there needs to be some kind of change to that specific dynamic. That one character, either that or you just know, hey, look, if do not bring in, you know, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder when there's Sunfac on the other team, because it's not gonna work as you think it's gonna work. And so I think he could be good. You know, he's get but I think that it's still a lot of wait and see, and I'll let those uber mega whales figure some of that out. And I will tell you that his account is like number 3 on the SWGOH list of accounts that where they give you all of the guys that are the number 1 guys. He's like number 2 or number 3. So you can go over there and take a look at it, and you can see that what he's already got. So for what that's worth. I would probably say that it's a very much of a wait and see at this point, because I don't think it's gonna. I think they're gonna need to do some modifications to him, and it could be months before we get those modifications done.
So at least what they were saying on the Reddit from the dev was that they're working on the bug fixes. They're just not doing reworks. So I guess is whether or not they actually consider this a bug, like you were saying.
Yes.
It's interesting. I don't know. Do you think this is a bug, Ranger?
I don't know yet until it's actually implemented. We can actually see. I mean, I'm waiting for further data before I make a judgment on all the stuff that they're saying. I'm just kind of nonchalant about it. And we can go look at them real quick. I was finishing that GW. Excuse me. I don't. eh, I don't really know. I mean, I'm just being honest. I mean, I read that and I was like, how about that, buddy?
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking that it's. I mean, part of me thinks that it's just the whole avoid sun pack if you're using him type of deal. But I mean, I can see how it can be annoying if you're using him as your taunter. And since he's a rebel, he's probably going to get a little bit more play.
Oh yeah, behind a
Soon.
Lando or Wedge lead. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely.
And all he
Especially
needs is a buff, so you might stick like a Leia in there to make sure he has a crit chance at all times, so he always has a buff and doesn't die. I mean, he will probably be a character that you'll start to see more use. Um,
well, I mean, we got to figure out. I mean, before you put a lot of energy into him, I mean, let me just tell you. I mean, I feel like I already put a little bit too much energy into him. I mean, you're getting him at 2-star. Potentially by the end of the month, you're getting him at 3-star. You know, I threw him up to level 50 because that's kind of just my normal threshold, and I think I've got him at gear level 4, and he could go to gear level. No, I've got him at gear level 5. He could go to gear level 6. You know, I'm gonna take a wait and see approach. I'm definitely not giving him gear to go to purple gear.
yeah.
I mean, I'll give that to somebody else
Right.
because they said he's farmable. Okay, great. What are they going to do? They're going to throw him in. They're going to throw him in guild shipments. Really? You know, I mean, if they do something like they did with Dengar and they throw him in guild shipments, I'm like, I'm already farming a couple people out of there. I'm not gonna stop on those guys and go over to this guy. You know, I'm gonna go with what I think is a known entity. If they throw him in Cantina and give him a Cantina note again, I mean, get in line, buddy. You know,
Yeah.
behind Chirpa, which is my like 7th guy. I potentially want to go back and farm out of there. You know, so he'd be 5th or 6th or 7th in line at that point.
Yeah, I'm thinking GW. I think he's gonna follow kind of Magma Trooper in that sense,
Yeah, I do
being a
too.
daily login character, and then go into GW without having all the nonsense of being in what was it, Erodium, right? That he was in for
Mm-hmm.
a while.
Look,
And then
I think that's a great choice. You know, if they threw him in GW, I've been saving up GW credits for a long time, kind of, going the, am I going to go Grievous route? I would just, I would just farm him straight up. I'd farm him all the way up to 7-star, if nothing else, and just leave him there. That's what
yeah.
I would do. And potentially use them for something. I will tell you, just to be fun, and kind of a little bit narcissistic, I do use Scarif Rebel Pathfinder to get more Scarif Rebel Pathfinder shards. You have to throw because you have to throw him in, right? I mean, once you get him, you got to throw him in. So I throw him in, put him in the team just to see what all I could do with him.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Of
He'll
course,
be
it's
kind of
behind my maxed out Lando lead, so it doesn't even matter. But
man. That's my character after I finish Wedge. I'm going after Lando. I have to finish off Wedge first.
yeah, good luck. I went the other way around. I have Lando totally done. Just because I knew his gear was a little bit simpler, and I knew that potentially, I don't know. I don't think there's a wrong choice there.
No,
For sure.
I was just looking at it, and the way I was thinking about it is you really need Wedge in order to make Biggs useful. So I needed to get Wedge, and a lot of teams are running like a Lando lead, but Akbar gives more speed. So without having the top speed mods, I'm probably gonna have to use Akbar as a lead anyways. So that
Mhm.
means I can hold off on Lando just a little bit longer.
So the interesting part about that is poor sometimes the matches don't. I mean, we can talk about this for a minute. The matches don't last enough long enough to need to potentially need Akbar to begin with. So and Akbar doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So effectively, you're going to need to put enough speed on Akbar and enough speed behind Lando so that when it's on auto, Akbar gives his whatever it is, the one where he gives you the second chance when you use your special.
Tactical genius.
Thank you, tactical genius, where you use tactical genius so you could get 100% turn meter, and you're going to need to speed up Lando just enough so that he's right behind Akbar, so that he uses it right away, so that you get that you get 2 or 3 goes on Lando. That could work.
Yeah.
And hopefully the match is over quick enough before you actually need Akbar to do anything else besides tactical genius.
Well, I needed him mainly just for the speed because he gives 10 more speed than Lando does.
So you're going to do the 10 more speed, and you're going to do the and you're going to basically, so it's 10 more speed and tactical genius, and hopefully the match is over before.
That's going to be I think at this point is going to be my only way of surviving a Lando lead with them having so many like much better speed mods than I do. Like mine aren't bad, but it's not up to the level that I know they should be for like number 1 and number 2 PvP. I can still get up there, but it's for me.
Man, everybody's shard is different. It's
Yeah.
so strange. I mean, I still have 2 or 3 guys that are running straight droid teams and have been for months, and I still got a bunch of people that are just way too in love with their Palpatine, including myself. They're pretty much still running that Palpatine lead. I have yet to see, besides Rex and Palp and the droid teams, I have yet to see a really sweet speed Lando come up. All the Landos I see, it's like this is not what I was. This is not what it's supposed to be. You can
Yeah.
tell the mods are not where they're supposed to be. I mean, I had a guy coming up the other day running an old Ben lead again, and that works if he's super speedy. But if he's not super speedy, I don't know if that works the way
I
it's
was
supposed.
actually thinking Old Ben might make a comeback against the
So
Lando squads because the
yep.
AoE, if you can evade that, then you give your own team turn meter and you can kind of
Well,
just bypass the whole thing.
so there is a way where if you could do an insanely fast, um, and an insanely bunch of tenacity on old Ben, you could actually, but the evade with turn meter, and then you have like a stormtrooper Han or a Poe, and you have a lot of potency on Poe where you get a triple expose, and then you have an Anakin that comes up after that once Poe has put. So I mean, there's a way to do this, right? With old
Mhm.
Ben. So you have a speedy old Ben, you have a speedy Poe. Poe goes and potency on Poe. So Poe goes first. He taunts. He triple exposes the team because he has so much potency.
Mhm.
Then you come back and you ability block. So now you got double debuffs. Then you come back with a speedy Anakin for the AOE. He's doing his AOE against 3 characters that are exposed.
Mhm.
That and then you get to go and you've blocked the AOE, you've blocked Palp's AOE, you've blocked every special in the game, you've blocked the opposite team Stormtrooper Han taunt. I mean, you've done a whole bunch of stuff there right in the beginning. It's a pretty sick team.
Yeah,
um
and that's only 3 people that you mentioned too. Then you can follow it up with the wigs right behind it and just take out somebody.
so the team I saw did not have wigs. The team I saw was running Old Ben, Poe, Stormtrooper Han, Anakin, and who was their 5th character? I want to say it was Ray.
Poe
And
and Stormtrooper Han.
they were running Poe and Stormtrooper Han. So they were running Poe for the expose, and they were running, and then they were running, then they were running Old Ben for the turn meter on evade. Then they were running Stormtrooper Han for the turn meter on Stormtrooper Han when he gets hit.
Right.
And then they were running, and then Poe is speedy and Ray is speedy just to begin with. It was a very unusual team, and it had an incredibly low power score. I mean, the power score was like 38K, and I was like, how is this guy doing this?
Hmm.
Like, I don't understand it. And I saw it run, and I was like, this. But of course, this guy had some insane mods. He had mods where his secondary speed was 19. I mean, it was like this guy spent a lot of time,
Yeah.
working on what he was doing, and he knows the game real well.
Mhm.
So
And it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out soon. Everything's going to start shifting depending how Scarif Pathfinder plays. He might start to come into these, and meta's going to start shifting a lot more. So it'd be kind of interesting to see the return of Old Ben as kind of a counter to the AOE team. I think that would be pretty cool.
yeah, I think it would be way cool. That's for sure.
Because you would have the rock paper scissors again, right? You'd have Palpatine lead is greater than Old Ben lead. Wiggs and Lando is greater than Emperor Palpatine, and Old Ben is greater than Lando Wiggs, and you might be able to get around that nice little circle.
Yeah,
All right.
that'd be super cool.
So, you want to get into this Q&A, or do we have anything else we need to
Yeah.
cover?
No. So if you guys are in the YouTube chat and you guys have any questions for us, please let us know. We have some questions collected from the Rebel Base Discord. So let's go ahead, and the first question is for Mr. Grande Patron.
Okay, I'm ready.
The question is from Mr. Scott Awesome. Do you
Oh,
know what the question is already?
I haven't read it. I'd probably have to scroll up to see it, but
Okay.
I did not.
Why did you draft Sidious?
He said this every time. So let's talk about why did I draft Sidious. So first of all, if we could have a do-over on that, it would be so awesome, but we just can't. So I was looking for AOE, and I was looking for a character that would be good underneath the Palpatine lead. So that meant I was looking for Empire or for Sith, and I chose Darth Sidious. He's got some good turn meter. I'm not saying he's the best character. I'm sure I should have probably picked Tarkin or someone else. I don't know, but that's the one I chose. I think without a doubt, Lampshade and I would do it differently if we could.
Well, yeah, you already saw my rant last week. I still haven't been challenged about Lampshade's stupidity. People were actually picking teams above you, and that Lampshade's team was better than yours and Finn's. I just am amazed. Oh, what are your thoughts on that, Grande? Be honest.
Poor Lampshade. I mean, he only picked one character with leader ability, and it was Nebbit
At the end.
So I mean,
when Phasma was available,
and he had FOTP already on the team. I think he just had a brain fart. I don't know what else to say. Poor guy. That's what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna leave it at that. That he must have had a brain fart.
You're too nice.
He needed a taunt, and he was thinking taunt would. I mean, he could have done a bunch of things, but he didn't.
God. All right, Grande's being politically correct, so
I'm just being nice and kind, because if I had screwed up that bad, I'd hope you guys would be nice and kind to me.
No.
we would be nice and kind to you until you ended up getting more votes than Ranger, and then Ranger would go on a tirade.
No, that I could understand that. As I said, I didn't care that people thought that Finn's team or Ronnie's team was better. That's fine. But when I started seeing people picking Lampshade over all three of us, I was like, I don't get that. That doesn't even make sense. I can't even compute that into like reasonable knowledge. Like, what in the name of the Holy Mother are people thinking? But I mean, I guess people are going to pick what they want to pick. I can't explain it, man. I really can't. Oh God. All right. What's the next question?
All right.
he's still trolling me on that thing.
Yes, he is.
Oh my gosh.
He's saying Lampshade is better than Grande because he didn't draft Sid.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. Uh, we do have a question from Johnny5 asking if I have caught up on Rebels yet. I plan on doing at least season 1 this weekend. I haven't been feeling well the last couple days, plus a lot of work, especially on Monday. Monday was completely insane for me this week. So, yeah. So I do plan on catching up soon. Hopefully before at least season 1 before the premiere, and then I'll catch the premiere maybe on Sunday after I watch season 2. So, that's my plan right now.
Shameful.
Well, I'm busy. Okay.
You've
So
had over a month to plan. I
yeah, but
told you
I've been planning my travel.
When does it? Doesn't it come out this month? Like next week?
this Saturday. I just
Saturday.
did the I just did the announcement. I was like, this
No,
Saturday.
like I keep looking at my DVR. Like, when is it coming? When is it coming? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah. You like my little song and dance there?
I know.
I
But,
really dig
but
that show.
Finn, but yeah, and we decided we were going to do recaps of the episodes, and I have been telling Finn for over a month when we decided to do this that you need to catch up. He's like, I will, man, I will. I'll power through it. I'm like, okay.
It's true.
So
I
get
was
him.
actually planning on doing it yesterday, but I wasn't feeling well. I ended up sleeping a lot of yesterday to try to make sure I didn't get too sick.
So when we watch the episode on Saturday, it'll be interesting because Finn's probably gonna be like, "Hey Ranger, what's this?" I'm like, "Hey buddy, you should have should have been watching because now I have to explain everything to you."
Yeah, you're.
All right. So what's the next question?
All right, so we have a question from Ewakin. Because of the AI's poor use of abilities, how would you feel if they added a function where you could set an ability usage prior to your actual arena battles? So you could dictate that Yoda would use battle meditation first, for example.
Hmm.
Wouldn't that be nice?
I think that would be amazing. Holy Nikes, that would be amazing.
I think that would make it really complicated on the programmers, but I think it's a really cool function for the players.
I think it
But
would
I
be
can
amazing.
Yeah,
No, I'm all for it.
I'm all for it too, but I can see how it's going to be way too difficult, especially it's hard to separate it a little bit sometimes, but this is really a mobile game. A lot of this, a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
discussion and stuff that happens on like the bigger MMO RPG type games, and
Mhm.
like they add all those functions on a mobile game. I mean, I we know CG is kind of small comparatively to like EA. EA is not really the one doing it. It's pretty much CG, and being that they're a little bit smaller, I don't know. It's a lot of resources to implement something like that.
Yeah.
To basically dictate your AI prior to an arena battle, that could get complicated.
Yeah. But it would be a
I do
nice
like the
function. Yeah, I do like the fun.
yeah.
I like that idea too. And we don't care what Grande thinks. All right, what's the next question?
Okay,
This
sure.
this does lead into your guildie's question, Grande, Mr.
Okay.
Panda.
Nice.
And
So
expresses in the
Panda
hizzy.
so Panda asks, with let me bring that up again. So, what would you like to see added to the game, whether it be a specific character, different mods, a different game mode, or other difficult events?
You guys go.
I would like to see duels.
What is that?
Well, two things where you can just pick your friend and you can duel each other. Pick your characters and kind of.
Well, that's kind of like our draft thing we did. We did a couple.
I know, but I want to actually be able to fight Lampshade and prove how stupid he is.
Okay, fair enough.
And the other thing I want to see is OG Luke.
I think some people talk a big game and everybody's server is different.
True.
And I think that I mean, if you had some guys that went all in on speed on your server, you may have had to go in all in on speed to chase them.
Mm-hmm.
If you had some guys that went all in on crit damage, you may have to gone all in on speed or all in on crit damage in order to beat them. So I think that there's a lot of diversity and it would. I think it would be a huge wake up call if you think, oh, I can just knock anybody out, and then you realize, oh, I'm on a server that's a little bit of a maybe not quite as awesome as some other server,
It's true.
and so yeah, I definitely that would be cool.
Well, that's kind of the challenge of the game, right? Like you're trying to do kind of the common stuff like light side, dark side, cantina, raids, but then arena is very much focused on your own server, and you want to kind of get characters that counters people on your server. Like I know.
Well, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's all these guys that are running straight droid teams that are doing this the whose Jawa engineer is faster
Yep.
thing, right? And you know, so one guy's like, my Jawa engineer is 237. Oh yeah, well mine's 238. I won the coin flip. I get to go first. You're dead.
Yeah.
So
And then
Well,
somebody comes with a Palpatine lead and just kind of destroys it all.
yeah, for
exactly.
real.
I would say I'm gonna go a little bit kind of off the board. The one aspect of this game that's really kind of disappointing to me, and maybe this is gonna change in the AAT raid, is the fact that healers are fairly useless.
Oh,
Um,
oh.
they just don't have a purpose. It's all speed, it's all damage, it's all turn meter reduction with the Rancor. Healing in and of itself is kind of useless in this game out after you're like level 50. When you're under level 50, Luminara and Bears can kind of carry you, and Jedi Consular can kind of carry you for a while.
Mhm.
So, in terms of something to add to this game, I think it would be really cool outside of just the challenges. So I don't think the challenges is a good thing, is like a good measure. But I think they should make a healer only event where basically it's kind of like a X turn survival type thing. So if you survive like 5 turns, you can get this loot. If you survive 10 turns, you can get this loot. And it's all just based on being able to heal your characters and knowing how to heal properly.
Mm.
So that would be kind of my thing that I would like to introduce. It's a healer specific event based on how long you can survive, and you get loot according to how many turns you last.
So, I mean, that just to kind of elaborate a little bit more on your point, effectively a healer at this point is only healing at best 25% of the character's total hit points because you're going to heal them when they're at 50% because that's when you can get around to them. And so,
Yeah.
at best, you're getting, you're getting 25%. I would like to see, more that has to do with that has to do with the protection, and because right now I think we only have two, right? We only have a Gamorrean guard, and we only have Nebbit, and I think Gamorrean guard will actually increase protection, and then Nebbit does like a protection bonus of the one with the little, he's got like a little shield thing. It does a little buff on the top.
Mhm.
And so I definitely, and they've alluded to the fact that there were going to be more characters with that. But I would really like to see either those two characters reworked, or healers be able to do something with protection or something where it's able to because there's you basically it's 50% of the hit points. You, besides mods and adding mods to fix them, you can't really you can't really do anything to help. You can't really
Yeah.
do anything to put that back on a character. And and depending on how you've modded your characters, they may have way more protection than they do health, and so you
Yeah.
have to,
Mhm.
it's so you really would like something that would be able to kind of do that. As far as a different game mode or something, um guild versus guild would be sweet. I think that would be amazing. Be able to have your whole guild fight someone else's whole guild. That would be probably one of the biggest things, because there's a lot of guilds that talk trash against each other.
Mhm.
And I would like to see that guild versus guild. I mean, it'd be neat to have inside the guild, but it'd also be neat to be able to have, um, you know, guild v guild, and some kind of cool reward for that.
Mhm. And I
Yeah, I
think we
agree.
just we discussed this a little bit with
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, or maybe like 3 streams ago, with regards to like the potential of ships and
Yeah.
how you might be able to create class or faction synergies with ships. So, for example, it's kind of the equivalent of mods for each faction. So, if, for example, each one Jedi gives you like a 2% bonus to offense, 2 Jedi gives you 5, 3 gives you 10%, 4 gives you 25%, and 5 gives you 50% or something like that.
So here's what I don't want to have happen with ships. If you could say what you don't want to have happen, I don't want it to mess up. I don't want ships to mess up PvP somehow.
Mhm.
And but what I say by that is there are a couple other games that are by either by the same software producer or from a parent software producer, where effectively they have a bunch of characters and then they have what they call beasts. And when you go into a battle, you take your 5 characters and your beast. I don't want it to be where you take your 5 characters and your ship. And so now in PvP, you have this big ship that you get to turn to shoot, right?
Mhm.
And then in every other game mode, you get this big ship that gets a turn to shoot. I think that would be a terrible way to introduce ships, where now not only do you have the characters, but you also have the ship, and somebody has Ghost, and somebody has the Millennium Falcon, and the Millennium Falcon gets a turn to shoot against the Ghost. I mean, that would just be like, I just want it to be cooler than that, I guess,
Yeah.
somehow.
So you're thinking that each player gets a ship?
I'm thinking that you're going to have multiple ships, and you get to bring in your ship along with your 5K. If you look at another game that CG brought out, which is their other game, it's like Heroes of Dragons or something. I downloaded it one time because it was like to figure out, because that game's like 4 or 5 years old. I downloaded it to try to figure out, okay, where are they going with mods? Well, let's look at a game that they've done that's 4 or 5 years old and see, okay, how did they implement mods there? They actually had mods with timers, like mods that expired. You would put a mod on, and then that mod, you could only use it for 5 hours, and then it would like disintegrate, self-destruct. And I was like, oh gosh, if they give you mods that you level up, stick on, and then only get to use for a few hours, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
Like, and then they had this beast mode, which is where you had another beast. So literally it was your 5 characters on the side of the screen and a bear or like a invisible unicorn or a spider. I mean, there were all these different, or a dragon, right? And I thought, oh, well, if they introduce that and they make it basically where in every game mode, um, they have to, you basically have to introduce a ship, and certain ships have different things, just like characters are. I just don't want it to be like that. I want it to be more where I just want it to be where you buy ships and you get to stick characters in ships and you fly around and you shoot stuff. That's what I want it to be like. I don't know if it's going to be like that, but I just want it to be cooler somehow.
Yeah.
um
Right.
I mean,
but
I would hope that it's whatever ship thing they introduce, it's going to be, I'm hoping there's going to be guild ships and not individual ships, and exclusive to the, like a guild versus guild, or maybe a guild raid type space battle or something like that. I'm with you. I don't want it to interfere with arena, because I think arena is already a little bit fragile every time a new character comes in anyways.
mhm.
Introducing like another aspect altogether into arena can definitely shift it completely off kilter and mess up the entire thing.
Yep.
So I'm with you there.
Cool.
We do have a suggestion with regards to the healer discussion too, from Matthew Harrison in our YouTube chat.
Okay.
He said that healers should heal protection, but at half the rate. So they'll heal health at 100% rate, and protection will be 50%. What do you think about that?
That would be cool.
I would be okay if they redid some of the healers, and maybe some healers only did protection and some healers um only did health. And so you would basically, then you would have the idea, and maybe it's at a lower rate, but let's say then you could potentially run 2 healers, one that heals health and one that heals protection, because you could potentially run a double healer combination again.
Yeah.
Um, there's a million different ways they could go, and maybe you have some healers that are hybrid healers, and they do this. I heal health and I heal 50% protection, and I only heal protection and I only heal health. I mean, you could totally mix it up, right? And
Yeah.
then when you mix it up like that, then the players will find their own awesomeness.
Yeah.
Um, the players will figure out a way to do it right.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody's talking about Droid Aka in the
Hmm.
chat. Matthew Harrison is talking about Droid Aka.
Hmm.
Maybe you can give a little bit of background, Ranger, on Droid Aka. I don't even know who Droid Aka is.
I don't know who the hell that is either.
Apparently, it's a character that's from the Star
Droid
Wars.
Descard? Oh, the Droid Descards. Okay, yeah. They're you remember an episode The Phantom Menace? The Droid
Okay.
Descards were they're called something else. I'm going a little blank because I'm tired. Those the destroyers, the droid destroyers that came rolling up, and when Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon were trying to get into the main hangar there with the guys, and Qui-Gon's got his lightsaber in and it's melting the door, and the destroyers came rolling up. That's who he's talking about, is those droids right there. Those would be good, and they would be pretty good tanks because they have shield generators, so they can take a hit and they can shoot out. They're actually they're in some of the battles you have to do. So it's interesting. That is a great point that they haven't brought those in yet. I can actually go see if I can. Oh, it would be a light side battle. Let's see. Let's see.
Moral of the story, though, I think we all want to see healing revamped a little bit
Yeah, it
to
makes
make healers more
make
useful.
healers viable again. I mean, we're trying to make taunts viable. We were able to make, and I get it. It's always this balancing act, right, between single high hit damage characters, amazing support characters that have these amazing abilities to put buffs and debuffs, and then AOE characters. But it's in my opinion, it's the healer's turn again. It just
Mhm.
it and I get it. They're always going to have to keep kind of rotating and making certain characters, but I guess I would like to see them come back and fix certain characters, because it seems like that we have 91 characters or something at this point, right? 92 characters, 93 characters, something like that in the game. And it seems like that we see the same 20 or 30 characters. Somewhere in my pile of papers here, I have a deal where we kind of came in the after hours chat, and we literally talked about what characters do we think are going to be good for the new raid, and what characters we think are going to be maybes, and what characters we think are going to be terrible. The interesting thing about that is, we didn't get over 40 something characters that we could all agree on are either in the yes category or the maybe category. So that means there's half the characters that need some kind of help in order to become good again.
Yeah, and there was an interesting post on the Reddit by a dev also. They were asking about kind of this whole meta shift that's always happening, and why they don't. It seems like, and this is kind of standard with every game. They're working on trying to find the balance between all of these characters, and so the
Sure.
point was brought up that initially there was the speed meta then became countered by the evasion meta, and then to deal with the evasion meta they put out B2, and B2 kind of countered the evasion meta, and then the thought was, why are you releasing a new character instead of just dealing with the current issues that are there that are causing this imbalance, and why isn't that being reworked? And I think with any game you're always going to have that kind of balance that's always going to be trying to reach, whether it's going to be a new character that helps to solve the problems, whether you're going to try and correct old ones. But if you correct old ones, then you might end up just revisiting old problems again and imbalancing something else. It's a hard balance to create a game with so many characters and keeping everything kind of balanced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't find it, but that I did remember seeing the game. I just don't remember where it was. Where I don't know if it was where the hell that was. Maybe I'm just imagining I saw them. But yeah, that's what that character is. It would be cool to see them in. Okay, what's the next question, Finosaurus?
All right. So we have a question from Demertian
Okay.
asking, what type of mods would you use on Jedi Knight Anakin, and what secondary stats would you want? And I know
Uh,
you have one Ranger, so you might want to display yours right now.
now I don't want to.
Uh,
I've been kind of reworking him because I had to change some of my mods. You can see I just had mods that I had available right now. I would definitely do attack, and offense with him, and crit damage. Crit chance would be a good one too. Also, I put potency on him because of that ability that he has with the ability to put healing and buff immunity on. That's a huge skill. So I put potency on there as well. I'm trying to rework these because these are originally when I was going to go back and rework them so you can kind of see where what I have. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get got a little speed on him and stuff, but I would definitely do because of his AOE and AOE damage is huge with him with his hit. So you want to do crit damage and crit chance because it lessens his chance to be exposed. And also, speed and potency would be your primary focus. Offense is always good. He's definitely an offensive character. So those are kind of the mods when I get them. Because as much as I've farmed mods, I had to put a lot on Lando and the Emperor and stuff for my PvP team. So I haven't had a chance to go back in, and some of I've already worked on them already. But yeah, those would be the mods that I would look at. I mean, if you guys disagree, that's cool, but that's kind of where I would focus his his abilities at.
How about you, Grande?
Sorry, I had to help the cleaning guy for a minute.
Oh, no problem.
What's the question again?
The Jedi Knight Anakin, what type of mods would you use on him, and what secondary mods are you aiming for?
Okay, so on my Jedi Knight Anakin, I am running crit damage, huge on crit damage. I have all crit damage on him, and then in the other two slots, oops, wrong guy. On the other two slots, I'm running crit chance. So, and I'm running kind of a weak speed mod on him because he doesn't really need that much speed. So I had a 3 dot arrow speed, and I just kind of stuck that on there because I wanted my 5 dot speeds for my other characters.
Mhm.
So I've been doing that. I've been doing all crit damage with 2 crit chance, and that's been working out pretty well for me. He is my highest powered character. He's actually ahead of Royal Guard and every other character
Yeah,
on
he's
on my
high in
Mine
power.
too.
He's high in power. Mine's at
yeah.
eighty five fifteen.
Yours at 8515, mine's at 8597. So
Mm-hmm.
we're kind of in that same boat. Pretty high speed. In fact, it's interesting just looking at your screen. You're running a 3 dot arrow as well, which is interesting to me that you're running that.
Yeah,
So we kind of mod.
yeah, it's the speed. Um, Mainly, you know, I could let me see. I'm gonna upgrade a mod, but I've been trying to go back in and rework him. Mainly because sometimes your primary focus is other things, so it makes it difficult to.
My main thing was is that he got so much speed when a character went under 50% health, and then when a character went under 100%. So my feeling was is that I didn't necessarily need the that amazing arrow mod.
Yeah, I still like him to have.
I needed it more.
Yeah, I like him
Oh
to have
yeah.
a lot. Yeah, I like to have him with the speed I've got on him. But I just haven't got any, you know, decent.
I'm running some pretty sick secondary speeds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think I'm running one of these mods I've got sticking on 'em right now is like an 11, and the other one is like a 7. So I'm running
Hmm.
sometimes you can make up for speed because you're because you get like an amazing mod somewhere else. I have not seen very many of those those 11s, 15s, 17s and
Hmm.
19s. They just don't come up very often. It's like Finity said before, you have to get the mod already and then the RNG has to roll your way.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway,
Yeah.
you got some other questions here. Matthew Harrison's asking a couple. So
Sure. Go for it.
Yeah. So he asked, as a newer player, he's level 65. What's the highest dot mods you can get from the normal mod farming table? So from the mod battles, which is the table that you're farming for, you can only get up to Mark 2, the 2 dot mods.
Yep.
And
Bless you.
in terms of quality, you can only get up to quality D. So just a quick refresher then on mods. But dots can go right now up to 5. There may be Mark 6 or 7 dot mods coming with the new raid. It's still not entirely clear, but it looks like it's heading in that direction. But
Hmm.
right now, it can go anywhere from Mark 1 to Mark 5, which is equal to the number of dots. You can also have quality A, B, C, D, or E.
Yeah.
Now, the way that works is that quality A means that there's 4 secondary stats. Quality B means there's 3 secondary stats. C means there's 2. D means there's 1. E means there's no secondary stats. Now, at levels 3, 6, 9, and 12, you will have the chance to add a secondary stat. Now, the question then comes, like Grande was saying, like he has an 11 speed mod and a 9 speed mod. How do you get some of these where people have like 14 speed and 12 speed and 11 speed? So the way it works is that you need to start off with at least a speed mod listed as a secondary characteristic or a secondary stat. So that means you're looking for a level 1 with a quality D, C, B, or A, with one of the secondaries being speed. Now, how you get the higher mods is you need a quality A mod.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it works is that if you have a quality D, let's say, which means that there's one secondary stat, and you level up your mod to level 3. At level 3, it tries to add the first secondary stat. If one secondary stat is already on your mod, it's then going to add to it. So now if you had a speed of 2, you have a chance of it going up to a speed of 5, for example. Then when you get up to level 6, it's going to try to add the second secondary stat, but yours started as a quality D, which means it only had 1. So now it's going to try to it is going to add that secondary stat. And now you're going to have 2 secondary stats, but your speed is no longer going to get buffed up, because at level 6 it's going to add that secondary second stat. It's going to add the third secondary stat at level 9. It's going to add the fourth one at level 12. Okay? So in order to get the highest speed secondary mods, you are looking for a quality A mod with the actual speed secondary as one of them. Now, after this point, it's completely going to be RNG based, meaning that you're going to have a level 1 quality A. One of the secondary stats is going to be speed. When you hit level 3, there's already at least one secondary stat, so it's going to try and boost one of the existing secondary stats. You have a 25% chance that speed is going to be the one that gets boosted. Then you go to level 6. If you start already have your 4, so level 6 is looking for at least 2. If there's already 2, your speed again has a 25% chance of getting boosted. At level 9, it has another 25% chance of getting boosted. At level 12, it has another 25% chance. So what happens is a lot of these people that have the really, really high speed mods, they got lucky when they were leveling and speed got multiple boosts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you did like a quality C, for example, right, which is 2 secondary stats, you have a 50% chance twice in order to get that boost. But your overall speed will not be as high as if you hit speed 4 times on a quality
Yep.
A. The trade-off kind of comes. Do you want a quality C where you have a chance of 2 boosts for your speed? You have a better chance of that boost. Do you want a quality B, which gives you a 33% chance boost 3 times in order to get that speed stat up? Or do you want to go for quality A, which gives you the best stats, but it's the least chance of getting it actually higher? So those are kind of the trade-offs with the mods. So when you're trying to farm these speed mods, keep those in mind. And if you're trying to get that high speed, if your mod doesn't already have a speed secondary, don't bother wasting credits in order to level it up, hoping you'll get a speed. If your goal is to get that highest speed, because you're not going to get the highest speed if the mod doesn't already have speed as a secondary on it.
Mm-hmm.
He asked a follow-up question. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah. So his follow-up is, should I farm my 2 dot mods then, since I won't have the guys to do the challenges? How many of the type do I need in order to do the challenges?
So I have an alt account and went exactly through this exact dilemma. So I run an alt account, mostly to help out some lower guilds that we have in Team Skunk, and I ran into this same problem. I I didn't have, for example, 5 Jedis, and I didn't have 5 Scoundrels, and so what I did is I ran up through table 3, which unlocks in the challenges. It unlocks the first 3 tables of the challenges whenever you do the mod battles. And then I said, let's just try and see if I can take my 5 best guys in and just get health mods and so I was able to, I was able to 3-star the first tier, and then I was able to 3-star the second tier, and then I was able to, after a little bit of farming at the second tier, I was able to 3-star just the health mods at 5 dots. I then, at that point, have not finished, and I'm level 77 on this account. I have not finished the rest of the mod battles. I have stayed there and farmed just the health 5 dot mods. And the reason why I've done that is because those are the best mods that I could possibly get and the best use of my Cantina energy if I'm not going after a character. Are health mods the best? No. But the stats and secondary stats on a 5 dot mod outweigh the set bonuses that I would get at my particular level and on my particular shard. So I put 5 dot health mods on everybody on that account. It's not great, but it's definitely not terrible.
And I went a different route with mine. So there's a few ways you can go about it. So with me, I basically only did mod battles on the table. I didn't really bother with challenges because I don't like the drop rates on them. Um, the chance of getting either the arrow mod, the triangle mod, or the plus sign mod is less than getting the square, the diamond, or the circle. If you're trying to fully gear up like a bunch of characters, it's useful to do the challenges because then you're getting multiple of like the squares and the circles, and you still need all of those. But for me, I was actually looking more at the set bonuses. If you're looking for PvP specifically, then Grande's Way is going to be the best way. For your PvP arena characters, health mods are a good way to start out. It just increases the survivability. It really helps at the beginning. Um, in terms of my other characters, though, I basically only did the tables and just got Mark 1 and Mark 2 mods of the sets that I wanted, and I'm using them as placeholders. They're still working out fine for me in terms of just the regular game content. My arena squad, I'm buying the mods from the shipments because I'm making sure that any investment I make is going to be on mods that have the speed secondary on them, and I need to farm characters from Cantina, so I really don't want to use Cantina energy on mod challenges where it's not 100% drop rate. I can't figure out what the secondary stats are going to be. I can't even figure out what the shape is going to be. So I wasn't a fan of the challenges as a way for me to get mods. So I basically just did mod battles in order to get some of the set bonuses for my characters, like crit chance and crit damage. And then as I've been getting like better mods through mod shipments, I've been kind of doing a hand me down system to my other characters.
How have you done it, Ranger?
I've been doing a little bit of both. You saw I was kind of looking through the mod store just to see what's there, and then I'll pick some stuff up. But I have, as you can tell, completed a lot of the mod challenges. So I will go in and do a little bit of farming and see what I get with the mods because eventually all the tunes are going to need mods anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go, you can kind of see I've done the health, I've done the defense. I need to do the crit. I've already done the crit chance mods, did the tenacity mods. First order ain't happening, so no. But I've completed the potency mod one, and the one I'm working on now is the speed one. So it depends on what I'm trying to do and farm. Speed mods I think are important because that 10% to speed does make a big difference. If I could get speed mods with the speed on them that I want, I mean that's insane. 10% plus 10%, 20% plus speed and everything. That's where for PvP where you speed kills. I mean, so speed mods are a must to have, and that's why I'm farming the team to get it. I'm one character away. I've got to get Finn to 5-star. You can see I've already got Poe, Ray, and Resistance Pilot ready. And I can once I get Finn to 5, I'll level him up to like level 7, level 8 gear real quick, and then I'll be ready to go to complete this one. I've already done the first two. I didn't really try. I actually went in there with, it shows that they're 80 now, but I went in there with just like Ray and I was like, let me just clear this. She did, so it wasn't that hard. I just wanted to be able to get the third speed mod challenge so I can try to get those 5-star speed mods and see what I can do with them. All right. And we're back up.
Okay, so Matt Harrison added a comment basically saying he has Geonosian Soldier at 5 and Lando at 6. So in about 12 days or so, he'll have Cantina to farm mods. I don't know if you're gonna uh, give different advice, Grande, but mine would be if you're just, and I don't know your full roster, but considering that you're level 65 and you're just finishing up Geonosian Soldier and Lando, I
Finish
don't think
Lando.
it's what?
I would finish Lando if you already have him
No, no, no.
as.
Well, I'm not saying a pick situation, but I'm saying
Oh, what's
if
his
you're finishing
question?
up Geonosian Soldier and Lando, I wouldn't bother working on the mods too much
Mm-mm.
because you're still gonna need other characters.
Yeah.
I'm assuming at this point you don't have Royal Guard, you don't have Jedi Knight Anakin, both of which are going to be pretty solid characters. You don't have Wedge, who's probably going to become the meta in Arena soon. Um,
And you're level
I would
65.
be yeah, and level 65. So you want to kind of be careful on how much Cantina energy you spend on mods right now. Because at that stage you really want to make sure you're farming a lot of characters because once you start hitting GW at level like I think it's around and Grande you can since you have your alt you might be able to tell. I think around like 73 you start getting level 80 characters in
Oh
GW.
yeah, GW went from a breeze to insane to the point where on my alt account I had the first time where I got stuck. I had on node 6 today. I got behind I got a Palpatine at node 6, 5-star Palp, and I have no way to counter that. And so basically, I only got through GW and I started looking. I'm like, I need a deeper roster. Um, that's the problem with my alt account. It's just the roster's not,
Yeah.
and to be honest, Finity is right. I mean, you can use mods like hand me down clothes. There was a very long time where I kept all those 1 dot and 2 dot mods, and especially the reason why I kept them was so that if I had an amazing 5 dot mod that I happened to get, I could stick it with another set bonus and make it all work with some 1 dot mods and then just upgrade and move them down later.
Yeah.
So that basically all the characters that I used all the time always had mods. I mean, effectively on that account at this point, everybody that's 7-star and everybody that's 6-star has maxed out mods. Now they may be 1 dot and 2 dot mods, but I really don't care. You know, it's okay. And then you start working out. I mean, a 1 dot speed primary arrow is still pretty sick whenever whenever you think about what some of your other options are. So
Yeah, and the best part about Mark 1 and Mark 2 mods is that they're cheap to switch around.
oh yeah, oh
So
yeah,
all
Yeah.
you
they're
need is
very
5 sets, and you can just switch them around to the teams that you want. Because once you get up to Mark 5 mod, it costs 5,000 credits in order to unequip it. And
4,760, I believe. It's a little
something
yeah,
pricey.
yeah.
and then
Speaking of things I want another free mod move around day.
We
yeah,
talked
I want
about
a
that.
whole
That ain't
another.
happening.
I want another weekend.
Mm.
Just
Yeah,
one
they're.
weekend a
I don't
month.
think they're doing that again.
yeah,
It'd
unless
be
they do
nice.
something really really bad with the actual raid release.
They
But I
could.
don't
I
think
don't.
they're
I
Yeah.
don't think. I don't think they're spending way too much time making this thing right.
yeah, I know.
It's going to be as perfect as they can possibly make it.
Mm.
I think they realize that for some of their very seasoned players, they have they have they have to get this one right.
Yes,
And I
they
think that's
do.
what they know. There's a bunch of seasoned players that have basically put up with a lot of CRAP, and they don't want to put up with it anymore. You can't be asking from my wallet and not be putting out amazing content. And I am okay if if they take a while to get it right, as long as they get it right. I don't care if they take another 2 months. I really don't.
Mm,
Just make it amazing when it comes out. Don't rush it.
Yeah.
yeah, I think they need something else in the game though if they are going to take that long, because it is getting kind of repetitive and stale. So I think that is another consideration they have to make with regards to just giving players content that they can do that isn't the same thing every single day.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
all right. I think that pretty much covers everything now.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody. Let's wrap this up. Of course, we want to thank Ronde Patron for being on here, and his new liquor, You can
Yeah.
find wherever you can find it.
Where all premium adult beverages are sold.
I mean, yeah, with butt socks.
That's, you know what? It's right next to butterscotch. Butt socks. Those are in the
Yeah.
Affinity store.
Right. Unbelievable. But thanks to everybody that came out tonight. We really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. We appreciate all the support. Keep spreading the word. Finn, why don't you tell the folks where they can find us at and break everything down for us so we can close everything out?
Sure. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you guys can get information about when we're streaming and when we're putting up new videos. Um, we recently put up some videos about Galactic War. So if you guys have any questions about getting Galactic War done and some strategies and the different characters, we have those up in the Real Sith of Genius tutorial videos that we have. Um, if after this stream is done, we're going to meet up in the Rebel Base Discord for a little bit. So the link is in the YouTube description. So please come and join us and just have some fun. Check out our website. On the website, we have the latest defense and armor calculator, which is now accurate. So if you want to see how much a mod will improve your character without having to actually equip it and de-equip it and have all the nonsense in the game, go ahead and check out the calendar so you guys can get all of that information. We have our Facebook and our Twitter, which are getting updates regarding our streams. So you guys can always check those out. And definitely make sure to like our video if you like what you had, if you saw today, or if you just want to say yay to the Grande Patron list.
Yes. Or butt socks.
Or buttsock. Buttsock is definitely a liking thing.
God. All right. All right, on behalf of Finn, Grande, and myself, thank you for coming out, guys. We will see you. Remember, this Saturday we're going to be starting the Rebels. We'll put some stuff out for that. But next Wednesday, same bad time, same bad channel, we'll be back with the Real Sith of Genius. So everyone stay frosty. We'll see you soon.